Good morning. Bear with me. I'm not great at vlogging. I don't normally do this, but I woke up this morning feeling a bit frustrated. Last night I went to what I thought was a screening of a new series called Do We Need to Talk About Childbirth? Now, when I saw this event advertised, I was really excited because I think we absolutely do need to talk about childbirth. Women need to talk about childbirth. They need to be listened to. They need to be validated. We need to keep sharing stories to improve maternity care. And those of you that know me know that I run the Women's Voices Conference, and that's all about talking about childbirth. So I went there with the intention to watch this new series in 2018 that's been screened. And when I got there, I was a little bit disappointed because I found out that the series was actually called Delivering Babies. Now, those of you that are passionate about maternity care would know that delivering babies is not a word that should be used today. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was acceptable, but in this day and age, it's not acceptable because women birth their babies and midwives support women to birth their babies. Nobody delivers babies anywhere. Midwives don't go around delivering babies. If they do, to whom? A woman gives birth to a baby via her vagina, and then the mother should pick up the baby and put it on her chest. Nobody needs to do any delivering. It's a woman's rite of passage. She gives birth and she has her baby. And a midwife supports her to do that. So I felt a little bit disappointed about the title and was a bit shocked that there couldn't have been any research into that. Now, it's a series with a presenter called Emma Willis, who I think is fantastic. I love Emma Willis. But I think the title should have been called something like Emma Willis Life on a Maternity Ward, or Emma Willis's Experience on a Maternity Ward. And if that was the title, perhaps I wouldn't have gone, maybe, because it wouldn't have appealed to me so much. But, however, that wasn't how this event was marketed, so I went along and I watched the documentary, and you'll all have to watch it yourselves to see what you think about it, because everybody will have their own thoughts on it. But I felt a little bit disappointed because the title, and then at the very start of it, Emma Willis was like recapping on what she'd obviously been told, and she said, so all high-risk women give birth on the labour ward and all low-risk women give birth on the midwifery-led unit or the birth centre. And straight away, you know, I've been mixing in grassroots movements to improve language, and we're really trying to, again, move away from high-risk, low-risk. And not all women who give birth on labour wards are high risk. You might have a very low risk woman who feels that she would like to have an epidural, or she might want the option of pain relief should she need it. So she would be a candidate who would birth on a labour ward. She couldn't birth on a birth centre if you feel that you're anticipating perhaps having an epidural. You'd like that option as and when you need it. You can't give birth in a birth centre if that's your plans. So, you know, we need to be moving around from high risk, low risk. All women on labour wards are high risk. All women on birth centres are low risk, because actually birth centres are opening up to VBAC women. You know, it's not just all women with no risks on birth centres. We're trying to move forward so that, you know, we've got better births, and it's the maternity transformation programme that we're looking at individualised care for women. You know, speaking to the woman, really learning from the woman what she wants from childbirth, listening to her background, cultural influences, and then putting a care plan in place for that individual woman. We're not putting women in boxes. We're not putting women in categories. We're not looking at women as a high risk, low risk. So that upset me a little bit as well. But if you know me, or you're kind of interested in childbirth, it perhaps you wouldn't have liked it either. Anyway, so at the end there was, you've all got to watch the documentary because some of you might absolutely love it, but coming from the experiences that I've personally got, it wasn't for me. It felt very much like the same old, same old. It's what's out there. And at the end, there was a questions and answers, and I said that I felt very disappointed, particularly by the title, that I didn't feel that much research had gone into, the title, and if they'd engaged with social media and grassroots movements, they would know that delivering babies is not an acceptable term. Anyway, it didn't really go down very well. My question was completely ignored, and afterwards a member of the team asked me to leave, and Emma Willis broke down in tears, which upsets me because I really wasn't trying to personally attack Emma Willis, and I appreciate that for her it was a wonderful experience, witnessing women birth their babies. But here's the clench. This was a fantastic opportunity to create new conversations around childbirth. We need a new narrative around childbirth. I want to see a documentary that talks to doulas that have been supporting women for years, that are educating women, that are supporting women that go on and have a really empowered birth because they've got the knowledge, they've got the support. I want a documentary to be following these doulas. I want to be a documentary to be perhaps filmed in one of the adopter sites for the maternity transformation program, Better Births. Let's go into those adopter sites, the ones that are actively trying to improve maternity care, that are really aware of the language that they're using around women, that are trying to ensure that they are providing individualised care for women. That's where I want to see documentaries being filmed. I want to be, when we talk about childbirth, I want to be having conversations about why, if you're a black woman, you're 4 times more likely to die than a white woman. Why, if you're a black baby, you're 50% more likely to die than if you're a white baby. I want to be having those discussions around childbirth, and I want there to be a new documentary that follows perhaps independent midwives, caseloading midwives. You've got fantastic caseloading teams. I think a King's caseloading team has won 2 awards this year. Go and follow them. Speak to their women about the births that they're having. They're not giving birth on their back with their feet in stirrups. We are moving away. We're trying to really improve childcare. I want documentaries to follow MVPs, maternity voices partnerships. These are based in every single hospital, hopefully. It's midwives, obstetricians, women, doulas, anybody that's interested in maternity care, all coming together for that trust and working to improve maternity services for that hospital. This documentary, they didn't interview any of these people. They didn't speak to their local MVP. I want to see a documentary that follows MVPs, that looks at the work they're doing. It's a real struggle at the moment for MVPs. I'm vice chair of an MVP that has been shown to lead the way in what we're doing, but we're struggling. We're constantly getting crunched for our funding, and we're constantly being held accountable. And at the moment, we're going through battles behind doors just to be funded. The work that women and healthcare professionals that are doing together, it's not being recognised, it's not being rewarded. There's lots of people out there that are giving up their time voluntarily to improve maternity care. That is the documentaries that I want to see, the ones that are actively participating in a positive change for childbirth. You've got grassroots movements like MatXP. They're all doing fantastic work. Have a documentary, follow Florence, the obstetrician who's out there day in, day out trying to improve childcare. This is what we want to be seeing. I'm fed up of watching documentaries where it's the same old, where we're not conscious of the language we're using around women. You know, in the documentary last night, a woman was at a home birth. It was great to see a home birth screened, really great. And I realised that that's quite hard. I personally had a home birth and I didn't want anyone there. You know, I was very selective about who was in my birth space. But in that home birth, it was great to see it. But straight away after the woman had given birth, she was asked to stand up and move to a different location. You know, I want to see documentaries that are showing women, you know, that golden hour after childbirth where the baby is given to the woman. I want to see a documentary that sets the standard, that raises the bar, that talks about the conversations that we need to be having. I want to see a documentary that's based on the midwives, the ones that turn up to their MVP meetings week in, week out, that are working hard in a system trying to improve care, that talk to women respectfully, that support their individualised plans for birth. That is the documentary that I want to see, and that is what I'm passionate about, and that is what I have spent the past 5 years campaigning for. So for me, last night I went to watch a documentary that I thought we was going to be, the title was, Do We Need to Talk About Childbirth? Yes, we absolutely do need to be talking about childbirth. We need to keep talking about it. You know, we've got women that are walking around traumatised. And it's not particularly just by birth, it's the way they're treated during the birth, or the way they are not listened to, their feelings aren't validated after that birth. Women need to be able to have a safe space where they can really say what happened to them, be honest, and people listen and they validate, they take on board their feelings, you know, that there's accountability. Let's all work together to improve childbirth. You know, we need people like Emma Willis to get on board and help us to put those positive messages out there. You know, we need Davina McCall's, we need Emma Willis's to come out and talk about the change that everybody, that lots of people, Better Births, MVPs, MatXP, the Positive Birth Movement, AIMS, you know, AIMS, let's follow AIMS, see the work that they've been doing for years, slugging away to try and improve maternity care. That's the documentaries that I want to see. That's the conversations that I want to be having. I want to know why, if you're a black woman, you're 4 times more likely to die in childbirth. Let's have those conversations. Speak to people like Mars Lord, Elsie Gow, that are actively campaigning all the time for women. So, Emma Willis, I'm sorry that you felt that I personally attacked you last night. I'm sorry that I was asked to leave the building. I didn't intend for it to end that way, but I'm a very passionate person and I can't be quiet when I sit and watch a documentary where I realise the language is so wrong. Delivering babies. I know lots of lovely midwives. I'm a fantastic advocate for midwives and midwifery care. I see the struggles that they're going through on a daily basis. But all of the midwives that I know would completely understand that delivering babies is not a term that they would use either. They support women to birth their babies, and when they support a woman to make decisions, informed decisions about her care, when they listen to what the woman is saying and they let the woman lead their birth path, the woman comes away feeling quite empowered about that experience. And any woman, that midwife that I know, wouldn't feel offended if I questioned, why are you still saying delivering babies? Because nobody delivers a baby. A woman gives birth to a baby, and everybody, a doula, perhaps obstetrician, midwives, we're all there just to support the woman. It's the woman's experience, it's the woman's rite of passage. Saying delivering babies depersonalises that, and it just reduces the woman to a vessel. All right, women give birth to their babies. So I just wanted to put it out there. I haven't got time to write about it, but I woke up feeling very frustrated, a bit downhearted, a bit fed up, and we need new conversations, we need new documentaries, we need, you know, famous people to get on board and help us. You know, Ricky Lake's out there in America. She's doing an amazing job. She's changing the conversations around birth, and that's what we need to be doing. We need to be doing that here in the UK. So let's work together. Please don't see my comments last night as negative, or I just wanted to explain where I'm coming from. I've never been escorted or asked to leave a birth event ever. And I don't regret what I said. And Emma Willis, I'd love to talk to you if ever you want to talk. So thank you.